Greetings, everyone, social media family, being of any subscribers and visitors alike, of any persons among yourselves who are affiliated or associated with, and I'm representing my own YouTube social media channel and likewise chat room or comment section. Sorry about that. I don't know if I don't know what happened. Somebody's sabotaging the broadcast once again, whereas I noticed a computer glitch, like a computer hacker character is at it again. And whereas he or she could possibly be some of anybody and everybody, like as if I have to, speak upon some or such all the time, then because some or such of a neighbor from damn hell wants me to mention him all the time and into my future as well as any past and or present social media broadcast, being because misery loves company with his gay like homoist faggoty poop butt pissant drug pusher blackmail character self who could possibly be moonlighting as a gay pedophile Catholic priest wannabe. Not that all Catholic priests are in the boys, and neither nor are all Catholic nuns. I'm just saying, it's like every time I get on here, you know, and start up, and then I notice that, you know, the broadcast, where it's the numerical digits or sequences of the time lapse to describe how far into a social media broadcast of a video for that to be considered, whereas it jumps back to the very beginning, you know, if you know what I mean. But then I hope that you all had gotten what I was saying from the very beginning, regardless of the momentary sabotage of some and such. Bum, 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 bum. Here's Johnny. Thank you, Ed. Then how are you doing? Or as I was asking that question, you didn't hear me the first time, then let me repeat myself, or as I had done or did like so, and if need be, I could repeat that question for a third time by asking you, how are you all doing, my social media family? Hopefully all is well with you and yours, and hopefully the same can or could possibly be said and stated for record when it comes to me and mine. And moving right along. Anyway, though, well, in all reality, I'm not feeling too good at the moment, as I suspect this one drug pusher neighbor from down hell, black male character who resides as a tenant just a couple few apartment doors down from that of my own upon the same floor level in the building here, could possibly have something to do with, or as I suspect him of being the main reason or cause of my most recent battles with general physical health issues. And therefore, if any leftovers in my fridge start to smell funny before the expiration date, whereas I would just toss it, you know, either in the garbage can or in the toilet bowl. Yeah, he still has it in for me. And like I said, like I have to mention him for every social media broadcast for the future as well as for the past and present. because misery loves company. And as I suspect, he himself could possibly be moonlighting as a gay pedophile Catholic priest wannabe or semi-gay or bisexual Catholic priest wannabe. But anyway, though, the present social media broadcast and video content is having to do with the likes of his kind, more or less, give or take, you know. And with that having been said, then let me begin. I was researching some of such matters, some of such other social media for a network or website, whereas I'm an account holder thereof, and whereas it was indeed in reference to one of the most horrific of the riffraff of the likes of the rank and file, the criminal elements of society, being namely, mostly, the male sexual predator animal monster characters. And whereas it had really broke my heart to hear that an overgrown perp of a male perv of a man, adult male of a man, had taken advantage of not just an underage minor, but of a preteen child or kid. And I have it here somewhere, the video post in my TikTok account. I have just yet to find it exactly. I mean, it is most horrific. And I will let you all check it out for yourselves. And you can give your own views and or opinions upon it. I'm just trying to find it now. Just bear with me. Which one is it? Okay. I mean, it will break you all's hearts as well, you know. So I'm just trying to find it now. So it's going to take me some time. It's not that far away. I don't think. Well, I'm searching with one of my fingers. Anyway, though, I could go into the description of what it is regarding and make a reference to, and when it comes to the likes of, you know, the sexual predator animal monsters. And I know what. I'm just go. Let me see. Let's say I had it just the other day. Let's see. Because I had did what would be called not just a stitch, but a do it of that one particular. Let's see. I know one. I know what I do. I have it here as well. Let's see here. Sorry about that. So to speak. I mean, well, you all, at least some of you could G for the religious music. Let's see. Where was that at? Okay. Let's see. Come on now. Let's see. Yeah, here it is. Okay. Check it out, you all. Okay.
And they start bickering and they get into a big argument. And the girl, she ends up getting mad. Like, really mad. She's mad all through the night, and the next day, she's still mad. Now, the girl, her name's Anna. She's 7. The mom, her name's Marianne, and she's a single mom. Now, because Marianne works late nights at the bar, Anna is expected to get up and get herself to school on time every day. But see, Anna is still mad about the fight they had the night before. So she decides, I'm not gonna go to school today. I'm just gonna skip, go to my friend's house. So she leaves home and she starts walking to her friend's house. And she gets there and friend isn't home. She had already left for school. So Anna's like, oh, what do I do now? And she just starts wandering the streets, I guess, trying to decide about what to do on her day off. Now at some point on her walk, she's approached by this guy, Klaus. And Klaus lives in the area. He's basically the local creep. Now, it's unclear exactly how this happened, but it is presumed that Klaus approaches Anna and he offers to let her play with his cats, because I guess he has some cats. But the cats are actually back at his house, so Anna has to follow him back to his house, presumably. But once she's in Klaus's house, that's where the story starts to get really dark, because Klaus doesn't let Anna leave. He keeps her there all day, and during this time, he does horrible things to her, which I won't go into detail about. And ultimately, sadly, he ends up unaliving her. Then he puts her in a cardboard box, and he dumps the box on the bank of a nearby canal. And later that night, police get a phone call, and it's this woman claiming to be Klaus's fiance. And fiance's like, I think my soon-to-be husband unalived a little girl today, and I want to report it. So apparently Klaus had confessed to his fiance that he unalived Anna earlier that day. And so fiance immediately calls the police and turns him in. Good for her. But then the next day, bam, police arrest Klaus. But his story isn't over, because a year later, he goes on trial. Now, understandably, at this point, Marianne is an absolute wreck. I mean, she lost her daughter, and now she has to attend the murderer's trial and relive this whole thing. It's just super traumatic. And as you can imagine, she absolutely hates Klaus. Now, at the trial, Klaus does admit to unaliving Anna, but he says it wasn't his fault. He says that actually she was the one trying to seduce him, and that he actually turned her down because he says he's such a good guy. And that she, this 7-year-old girl, got mad that he turned her down and that she tried to blackmail him, saying, if you don't give me money, I'm going to tell my mom that you abused me. Now, no one involved in the case really believes that Anna was trying to blackmail him, but the fact that he's saying these horrible things really pisses Marianne off. I mean, this turd has the nerve to not only unalive her daughter, but then to get on the stand and tell terrible lies about her, trying to smear her reputation. This guy. And so Marianne goes home, and she can't stop thinking about this. It is consuming her. How could he do that? And so she goes, and she gets her pew-pew. And on the third day of the trial, it's a normal day. And Marianne, she shows up to court like everyone else, and the courtroom is full of people. And she walks in, and she sees Klaus sitting there with his back to her. And that's when she reaches down into her purse, and she pulls out her pew-pew. And she points it at him, and she starts blasting. He fires 8 times, hits him 7 times, and Klaus, he falls to the floor. He is instantly unalived. And everyone is shocked. And Marianne, she drops her pew-pew, and she says to everyone, and I quote, he killed my daughter. I wanted to shoot him in the face, but I shot him in the back. I hope he's dead. So, of course, then, bam, police arrest her on the spot. And eventually she goes to trial, and she's found guilty of premeditated manslaughter and unlawful possession of a firearm, and she's sentenced to 6 years in prison. But they let her out after only serving 3. So, good for her. Maybe it was worth it. So one day, her mom, and they start bickering, and they...
That's sad, ain't it? So, parents, watch your children. Know who they are with, wherever and whenever, because there are a whole lot more creeps out here in the world, wherever and whenever. They just get me to thinking about an urban legend horror story, most recently of a hate crime perpetrated against females, a grown adult woman, may as well have been of some such perpetrated against underage female minors, of adolescent or teenage and or preteen girls, was this one male creep of a perv. He rides his bicycle or bike, and as far as I know, it could possibly be My present main neighbor from down hell of a local drug pusher of a black male individual person with character. Because he rides a bicycle bike himself and, you know, rides it into one of the preferred vicinity neighborhood communities, read between lines, fill in blanks, as in one that is less poverty stricken or less impoverished with less food deserts and not to mention less crime. And I had witnessed him riding his bicycle, bike that way, you know. And anyway, though, this male purple character, he would ride his bicycle or bike. What was that? The University of Illinois Chicago? No, the University of Chicago. The University of Illinois Chicago is on the west side compared to how the University of Chicago is on the south side. So he rides his bicycle bike to that campus area, and then he approaches born and raised female persons representing the opposite sex of the fine feline, and he gooses them, as in gropes them, from slapping them on their buttocks to supposedly running his hand, that's what goosing means, run his hand up at waist level between their legs to grope their private parts of their crotch area. And I'm wondering if it's my present main neighbor from down here of a local drug pusher of a black male individual person with character, of the likes of Riff Raff, usual suspects, and or public enemy number ones, could possibly be the very male person of a perp that the university police and the regular boys in blue, as in Chicago police and FBI for that matter, could possibly be looking for. Then I'll keep you all posted, you know, maybe, but then you all could, you know, review the news headline stories anyway, regardless of whether or not I were to do an additional broadcast upon these matters as in an update. Anyway, though, on this last note of interest, I would like to say, you know, and that is, if you have not gotten Christ as your personal Lord and Savior, I would hope that you would think to do so now by recognizing or realizing what he himself had done or did upon the cross of Calvary and Hill of Golgotha, suffering at the hands of Roman soldiers up on the orders of their superiors, religious, political, military, etc. Whereas he went to that cross of Calvary to become a perfect sacrifice, the only sacrifice for you as well as for me. Don't steal my trademark physical gesture. I'm going to have to copyright it sometime unless I want to risk it being plagiarized. Whereas if any of us, regardless of race, walk of life, gender, age, etc., were to profess some such faith in him, from there we will come and be blessed in one regard or another, more ways than one. First and foremost, with his salvation, being of which is the only means by which any of us can or could possibly acquire the only fire insurance against the fiery flames of the lake of fire, a damn hell that burns with fire, brimstone, and sulfuric acid, etc. For that matter, if possible. And then second, but then with likewise his great sacrifice of his blood sacrifice of salvation is the only means by which any of us can or could possibly become citizens of the kingdom of heaven. The second of all, we will be blessed with his deliverance. But first, you have got to get his salvation. Otherwise, you have got nothing coming. If you make that transition for the great beyond the hereafter, the afterlife, and you don't have his blood sacrifice of salvation upon within your soul, then your final destination will become the lake of fire down hell, to be assembled with the rest of the unsaved, lost down human souls, the unbelievers or unbelievers, to be tortured and terrorized by the devil and demons, and to be burned in the lake of fire down hell forever, compared to how we as believing God will be across that great divide that separates heaven from hell, and the company of like man believes in the presence of God and his angels. And even so, be blessed down here upon the planet earth in this world, and hopefully we could possibly become a blessing on the others, for that matter, especially by sharing with them the gospel message of salvation of our Lord and Savior Christ. You all take care and be safe. We out. Peace.